Okay, so welcome everyone. This is a session of Ajahn Junghyun Kim. Is that correct? Okay.
Right, thank you. That's my name.
Okay, Professor Kim from Seoul National University, and also she's studying in the United Kingdom, the University College London, in Cultural Heritage Studies. She will be presenting the globalization of Gugak in the digital age, social media driven fusion since 2010. So, are you ready, Professor?
Yeah, a bit nervous. I'm gonna start.
Okay, please start.
Okay, thank you for having me. My name is Junghyun Kim. I'm from Seoul National University. Today, I'd like to talk about the globalization of Gugak in the digital age, focusing on the post-2010 era when social media platforms began to surge globally. While Gugak, which is Korean traditional music, has been promoted internationally since the 1960s, what truly transformed its reach was the rise of digital platforms like YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. These platforms broke down barriers of time and space, giving artists unprecedented visibility and allowing audiences worldwide to engage interactively. Among them, YouTube has become the most important platform for Gugak dissemination. Within this platform, two works in particular stand out. Linarchi's Tiger is Coming with over 52 million views, and BTS member Suga's Techita with more than 450 million views, the highest among Gugak-related content. In this presentation, I will analyze these two cases across three dimensions: rhythmic and musical structure, visual and embodied performance, and digital dissemination and global reception, based on their most viewed YouTube videos. The aim is to explore how they achieved global success and to offer practical insights for artists and cultural producers seeking to globalize traditional cultural expressions. So let us first take a look at Linerty's Tigers Coming. I'm gonna share a screen. Hold on a second, please.
Okay, it's on.
Okay, so Linerty is a Korean band formed in 2019, known for fusing traditional pansori with contemporary pop. Pansori is a traditional Korean genre of musical storytelling performed by a vocalist and a drummer. Their breakthrough came with 2019 Tiger is Coming performance with the Ambiguous Dance Company on the Onstage YouTube channel. About a year later, the song was used as the background music for the Korea Tourism Organization's KTO's Seoul edition of the Feel the Rhythm of Korea campaign, which propelled it to a mega hit. The video went viral, reaching more than 50 million views and boosting both tourism and Gugak's global visibility. As a result, the KTO even became the first national tourism agency in the world to receive YouTube's Gold Creator Award. A key factor in this success lies in the rhythmic and musical structure. Tiger is Coming is based on the Tiger Descents episode from the traditional Pansori Sugunga, originally set in a 10-8 meter called Onmori. Here, performers show rhythmic flexibility by pushing, pulling, and resting freely, so the tempo is not strictly fixed like a metronome. In contrast, Linar's version is set in a steady 4/4 meter at 128 BPM. The instruments keep strict tempo, but the vocal lines preserve the rhythmic elasticity of pansori, and the singers reproduce traditional vocal techniques such as vibrato, like and pitch bending like with a reached western meter, creating a hybrid rhythmic sensibility. This contrast can be seen through this video. I'm gonna share the video. Okay, here is a part of original Tiger is Coming.
봄이 내려온다. 당님 깊은 홀로 한 김새이 내려온다. 몸은 얼숭덜숭 꼬리는 차 머리나 넘고 천둥 같은 뒷다리며 번개 같은 앞다리.
And this is the same part in Linear 2's version.
내려온다 hom이 해려온다 정익히 높은 물로 대한진 세이네 얼쑥덜쑥 우리는 잔뜩 핫하게 넘고 예밥이 흔들며 전동 같은 앞다리.
So, with this steady tempo, Linear 2 still maintain key characteristics of traditional pansori. And okay. So another unique feature is instrumentation. Traditional pansori has one singer and a drummer, who provides rhythmic support with the instrument book and interjects with streams such as 얼씨구, 좋다 to heighten the emotional impact. But Linear 2 replaced this with a Western-style band centered on two electric basses and drums, avoiding melodic instruments and relying on a single repeating chord to highlight the pansori voice. This is the repeating riff on the electric bass based on D and E flat. It demonstrates that the instrumentation functions in a bass and rhythmic role rather than a melodic line. Alongside these musical elements, the narrative also plays a crucial role. In traditional pansori, aniri, which is semi-spoken narration, explains the story and builds dramatic tension. For example, in pansori master Park Dong-jin's version of traditional sugunga, the tiger is introduced as a terrifying and socially condemned figure, and the narration explains why he comes down from the mountain. Here's the text of aniri. So can you see the screen?
Yes, we can see the screen.
Okay, so please have a look at the text while listening to the aniri.
누구냐 크고 발톱 길고 꼬리 크고 토토토토토토토 고생을 하냐 그거 불러놓니 호랭이란 님이 벌레가 육식을 하는 님이라 짐승들은 싹 잡아먹어서 사람으로 치면 인심을 잃었단 말이야. 야가 어디 지나가기만 하면 쥐새끼도 저 시에내 죽이려고 호랭이 그런 판인지 느닷없이 존칭을 내갖고 호생원자가 딱 들어갔거든. 드야지고 그냥 여시고 너부리고 퇴계이고 쏘앙 내버리고 내려닥치란디 없네.
So this is the original aniri in Sugunga. However, like in Linear 2's version, this aniri is completely removed, omitted. Instead, the story is told visually through dance, costumes, and background settings. This shifts pansori from a verbal narrative to a multimodal experience that provides enhanced visual engagement. In the video Feel the Rhythm of Korea, the ambiguous dance company dancers act as embodied instruments. Their movements are not just choreography, but rhythmic gestures that translate the energy of pansori into space and motion. Costumes also play a symbolic role, such as the red vest with the tiger illustration and the black outfit with a rabbit visually expressing predator and prey. Gestures like clawing motions during the songline, brandishing his sickle clothes, or the tiger chasing the other animal recreate what was originally told through aniri in traditional sugunga. Instead of spoken narration, the story is now carried by the body. The dancers descend down to Chahamun Tunnel, a famous filming site from movie Parasite, directly matches the lyric "A tiger is coming down from the mountain." It also parallels the aniri in which the tiger, flared by being called Tiger Sir, charges down from the mountain. Moreover, all the filming locations are at vantage points from which Inwangsan, called Tiger Mountain, and long linked to tigers in folklore and history, can be seen. And the sequence moves from spots closer to the mountain outward, echoing both the lyric and the anity that tiger is coming down. By situating the performance within Seoul's landscape and legends, the work blurs past and present, myth and reality. The tiger's descent is no longer just a lyric, but a living, embodied experience told through dance, costume, and place. Furthermore, another interesting point in the visual part is ADC's eccentric mix of Korean traditional attire, such as hanbok, traditional clothing, and kat, traditional hat, with suits, tracksuits, and sunglasses. This visual bridges tradition and modernity, giving audiences a sense of both familiarity and novelty across cultures. In terms of digital dissemination and global reception, artists usually promote their music online through their own channels. However, for Linarchi, the government's digital strategies decisively boosted their dissemination. The Korea Tourism Organization not only introduced the song to the world by uploading it on YouTube, but also launched the Icon Challenge on TikTok, a global dance challenge to the song Tiger is Coming. This challenge encouraged users worldwide to participate, with winners even receiving trips to Korea. It generated over 2 billion views and more than 2 million users submitted videos, including 1,200 overseas contestants. Furthermore, KTO's promotional video received multiple awards, most notably the Silver Award in the music category at Spikes Asia, one of the most prestigious advertising festivals in the Asia Pacific region. By contrast, the band themselves focus on offline exposure, performing at international festivals, appearing on TV music shows, and collaborating with brands like Samsung Galaxy. This case demonstrates how stage support combined with artists' own efforts can amplify dissemination far beyond what either side could achieve alone. So overall, musically, Leonard adopted a steady 4/4 meter command in pop music while preserving the lyrics of sugunga and traditional vocal techniques. Their band setup avoided a complex harmony, allowing the pansory timbre to stand out. Visually, the omitted, removed anity was reimagined through choreography, costume, and setting, and the dancers wore attire that blended past and contemporary styles. This balance avoided leaning too heavily on either tradition or modernity, creating freshness within familiarity. And it shows that the musical narrative, choreography, costumes, and settings are all organically interconnected. Taken together, the strategic recontextualization of tradition, grounded in deep cultural understanding, and combined efforts of artists and government support demonstrate how Gugak can achieve global success. Now, let's turn to another success for Gugak case, BTS, Daechwita. August the solo stage name of BTS's Suga released Daechwita in 2020 as a title track of his second mixtape, D2. Unlike many K-pop songs that use traditional motifs only decoratively, Daechwita takes Joseon Dynasty court music, specifically the military procession music of Daechwita, as its foundation, sampling an archival recording from the National Gugak Center. Reframed within hip hop, the work made history. Daechwita entered the Billboard Hot 100, while D2 debuted at number 11 on the Billboard 200, making August the first Korean solo artist to debut on both charts simultaneously. Musically, the song preserves the essence of traditional Daechwita while restructuring it into a modern hip-hop framework. In traditional performance, the conductor begins with the command 명금 일하 대치타 하랍신다, which means strike the jing once and begin. To which the musicians respond "yay," which means yes. The jing is then struck, followed by the yongo before the full ensemble enters with the piercing taepyeongso. I'm gonna show the here. Piercing taepyeongso, nagak, and nabar, together with percussion such as the changgu and chabara. I'm gonna show you the video of this original dechita.
연금이라 대치다 하치다 예! 예!
So in Auguste's version, this order is slightly rearranged but largely retained through about 20 seconds of direct sampling from an archival recording. After this sampled introduction, the track transitions into a steady 4/4 hip-hop beat at 73 BPM. Here, bass and drums, typical features of hip-hop, enter alongside Gugak instruments not found in traditional dechita, such as the kayagum and gwengari. The addition of the gwengari, often associated with peasant folk performance, is interpreted symbolically as underscoring the track's narrative of rebellion. Another musical feature is that, like Leonard's Tiger is Coming, the track avoids harmonic progression and relies on a single key, D flat. This minimalism foregrounds Gugak timbres within the contemporary framework. Visually, Auguste's reimagines Dachita in a reconstructed Joseon Dynasty palace setting, drawing on Gwanghae, a deposed monarch remembered for cruelty, defiance, and contested legitimacy. The term Dachita itself was first recorded during his reign in 1612, making the reference even more resonant. Building on this motif, the video contrasts two selves, a blonde tyrant king and a black-haired commoner, dramatizing both authority versus resistance and an inner struggle. The imagery abounds in striking contrast. Royal robes worn with sneakers, gold earrings that defy confusion prohibitions, and pigeons carrying royal emblems. Notably, the Tyrol king wears a black gonnyongpo, this is gonnyongpo, a robe for crown princes, underscoring Gwanghae's contested legitimacy. Earrings historically banned for men by King Seonjo, Gwanghae's own father, intensify this paradox, fusing hip-hop iconography with dynasty prohibitions. The video also records Gwanghae's image as a cruel and defiant ruler. The tyrant revel in executions at prison, even dancing among like corpses, the dead bodies. In the climax, the black-haired commoner kills the tyrant king, transforming Dachita's royal symbolism into a narrative of fallen power and new authority. These reinterpretations also achieved remarkable resonance through digital dissemination. The music video surpassed 10 million views within 8 hours after its release and now exceeds 470 million. Hype Auguste's label implemented a form threads across YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Weverse, supplemented by behind-scenes content on Bangtan TV and Augusti's own live stream explanations. This openness fostered deeper global engagement, while even the National Gugak Center, whose archival digital recording was sampled, responded to a surge of international interest by adding English subtitles to its materials. For many fans, Dechita served as their first exposure to Korean court music, and media such as Rolling Stone India hailed it as an anthem fusing tradition and hip hop. To conclude, Dechita and Linus demonstrate that preservation and innovation are not opposites, but interdependent. The possibility of such reinterpretations rests on Korea's institutional preservation system, from the Cultural Properties Protection Law and designated living human treasures to the archival role of the National Book Center, whose digital recording was sampled and whose pansori traditions sustain work like sugunga. Building on these resources, both cases create music that feels fresh yet familiar, adapting pop's full folk beats while preserving rhythmic elasticity, simplifying harmony to highlight traditional timbre, and embedding narrative into visual forms through dance, costume, and staging. Their success shows the global resonance comes not from superficial borrowing but from deep engagement with tradition reframed in ways contemporary audiences can recognize. Also, combined with digital strategies, YouTube dissemination, behind the scenes sharing, and institutional collaboration, this fusion suggests a sustainable path for the globalization of traditional music. Okay, this is the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening. Do you have any questions?
มีใครมีคำถามไหมคะ Do you have any questions for Professor Kim? Yes? Okay.
Thank you so much for the presentation. That was very, very cool. I really enjoyed the references made and the links you made to Gugak and like the modernity of it all. Do you know of any current composers like in the classical realm or in any other like or in any other realm who are like fusing Gugak with more like traditional like say like fusion instruments or trying to fuse like I guess traditionality and modernity in that manner?
I think like the Gugak performers, the musicians themselves are doing both, like being a composer and also the player. So I think instead of the real composer, like as their own job, the Gugak performers players can understand deeply more to make the better contents, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any other questions? มีคำถามอื่นอีกไหมครับ You can also ask in Thai. I will translate to Korean. Just kidding.
Anything you can ask. Yeah.
Okay, so I have a question.
Okay.
So, can the way that you spread the Gugak also work in another kind of traditional music in Korea?
Can you repeat it again?
Okay, so the way that you analyze how Gugak, how can I say, become very well known in nowadays, the way that you analyze, is it possible for another kind of traditional music in Korea to like imitate the way that Gugak become very well known nowadays?
Are you asking another cases of it?
Like another genre of traditional folk music in Korea?
Yeah, of course. Like there, have you heard about Chambinai? Like Chambinai is one of the famous and also well known internationally. It's a Gugak band, and they are like fusing their traditional musical instruments with the rock, like like modern rock. So it's another fusion of music, I guess.
I see. Okay, thank you so much. Do you have any other questions? มีใครมีคำถามอีกไหมคะ So if there is no further questions, so I would like everyone to give a round of applause to Professor Kim. Thank you very much for your presentation. Very impressive.
Thank you so much. Yeah.